Do you have no abs? Well, in this video, I'm going to show you how to change that. Now first off, no matter how often you train abs, you have to be a certain body fat percentage in order for your abs to show. For example, I'm pretty lean right now, I'm about 10% body fat, and you can see that I have pretty decent abs. Now for most men, they would have to be under about 20% body fat in order to begin to see their abs. And you don't really start to see your abs until around 10% body fat. Now you may have heard people before say that there's no point in training abs because if you're not lean enough you won't see them anyways. But imagine instead they said not to train your biceps because you need to be lean enough to see the definition in your biceps. Just like any muscle, the abs need to be trained in order to pop more. Yes, if you're lean enough and you don't train your abs, you will see your abs, but they won't look nearly as good as if you actually trained your abs. And just like all muscles, you have to do hypertrophy training in order to see an improvement in your abs. Because too often you see people doing all these weird exercises that targets like many different muscles of their body and they expect to get good abs from doing them where they're not even hardly targeting their abs. Now in this video I'm going to show you exactly how using science you can get a six-pack. I'm going to go through the three main building blocks of how to get abs, and that is training, nutrition, and supplements. Now fortunately training the abs is actually quite simple. You only need two exercises, one that targets the upper abs and one that targets the lower abs. Now for targeting the upper abs, what I would suggest is crunches. Crunches are about the best exercise that primarily only targets the upper abs. And once you get good enough at crunches, you can add weight by holding a plate and doing crunches at the same time. And the second exercise you're going to need for your lower abs is some type of leg raise. Now here in my home gym, I just do regular hanging leg raises, but if you can do leg raises on some type of dip bar, it's a lot better. Now I would recommend to do at least 6 sets of abs a week, and that's 3 sets upper and 3 sets lower. So 3 sets of leg raises and 3 sets of crunches a week. Now in order to get lean enough to see your abs, you have to be in a calorie deficit, which means you eat less calories per day than you burn. Now to figure out how many calories that would be for you, take your body weight in pounds and times it 11 in a calculator, and whatever that shows is how many calories you should be eating in order to be in a deficit. Although if you're a person who is extremely high in body fat, and I mean like 30% body fat or more, then this might not work because muscle does burn more calories than fat. And you should be eating 1 gram of protein for every pound of body weight your goal body weight is. So say for example, you want to get down to 165 pounds, then each day you want to be eating 165 grams of protein. Now if you're wondering how you would track your calories and protein, I would suggest getting a macro tracker online. And basically what a macro tracker is, it's an app that allows you to log in all the food you've eaten that day, and it shows exactly how many calories, fat, carbs, and protein you've consumed. Now I wouldn't suggest dieting down too fast because dieting down too fast can cause you to lose muscle as well as fat. And studies have shown that dieting down too fast can cause an eventual weight regain, which means that your weight comes back to what it originally was. Now you should aim to lose about 1 to 2 pounds per week. Now using a scale to track your progress is not always as reliable as you might think. Now the reason that is because if you're someone who eats a higher carb diet or just varies in the amount of carbs they eat per day, then you can see fluctuations in water weight quite often. And that's because every gram of carbs that your body stores, it also stores 3 grams of water. Also, if you are losing a lot of fat, what can actually happen is that your body will turn that fat into muscle if you're working out at the same time. Now, it's usually not a big amount, but some people, when they are losing a large amount of fat, they will not see a difference in their weight because that fat is being transferred into muscle by the body. Now, before you start a diet, I would suggest taking before photos so you can look back on and see how much progress you're actually making. And though it might seem embarrassing at first, trust me from my own experience, it's something you'll be glad you did. Now, when it comes to getting a six-pack, there's 3 supplements that I would suggest taking, and that's protein powder, creatine, and pre-workout. Now, the reason I would suggest taking protein powder is because with a low-calorie diet, it's great to be able to get in that extra protein without consuming very many calories. Now, I'd say that creatine is probably the best muscle-building supplement you can get. It has decades of research that show it has 0 side effects, and you can see anywhere from 2 to 3 pounds of extra muscle in your first year of training. Now, what's great about pre-workout is pre-workout allows you to feel more energized during a workout, which allows you to push your body harder, which allows you to get more micro tears in your muscle. And that might sound like a bad thing, but that's actually good, because when you're working out and your muscles get micro tears, your body then repairs these micro tears stronger and bigger than before, and that's how muscles grow. Alright, that's going to do it for this video. If you enjoyed today's video, make sure to hit the like button, and if you like my content, make sure to subscribe. God bless you all, and goodbye.